Welcome back to the Better Days Rain podcast. My name is Sean. I will be your host for today. And today we have a good friend of mine, Stephanie Smith. Stephanie, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. Well, glad to have you on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've known Stephanie for what, about 2 years now?
Yeah, it's almost 2 years.
About 2 years. And she reached out to me. She said, "Man, I'd love to come out here and put my testimony on the podcast." So that's what we're gonna do today. Put your testimony out there. Let the world hear your story. There's a lot of power in your story, whether you believe it or not. Somebody out there is going to relate to something you have to say today,
Yeah.
and they're going to vibe with it. And the cool thing about doing a podcast like this, man, is when I came into the rooms, you go into an AA room or something like that, you see 10 or 15 people, and you hear everybody talk about maximum service, being of maximum service. And I'm like, am I really being of maximum service? Reaching out to just 10 or 15, or can I do more?
Yeah.
Right? So with the podcast, we get to reach literally thousands and thousands of people per day.
And and I like that.
So it's humbling, right? I mean, you feed the ego just a little bit because of course you're on camera, right? So, but
Yeah.
at the same time, there's going to be power and truth in what you say, and somebody else is going to be able to relate to that and go, man, I'm not alone, or I needed to hear that message today. So I'm going to open up the floor for you to tell your story. And
Okay.
then, so what I want to hear is I want to hear what life was like for you in addiction, what got you there, right?
Yeah.
What life was like when you decided to put it down, you know, thoughts and feelings when you decided to put the substance down. And I want you to tell me what life is like today.
Okay. Well, my story started when my addiction started when I was 11 years old. I started smoking weed,
You know,
and then I went to a party and I started drinking. Then there was drugs.
you know,
I started using.
you know.
And what got me there was my parents split up. My dad left when I was 11, and my mom, she started going to bars every single night. So
Right?
I didn't really have that parent watching over me to see what I was doing.
Gotcha.
So, I just I was looking for love in the wrong places, you know?
Looking for love in all the wrong place.
And I just from there I just kept going.
So so we always talk about recovery is about connection.
Yeah.
So what pushed you into addiction was that lack of connection
Yeah,
within your
with
home.
my home.
Yeah,
I didn't have it.
right.
Um, my mom she was very abusive when
Right.
she was drinking.
Was that like physical abuse or
Physical,
mental?
mental.
Just
She said I looked like my dad so much that's why she would beat me.
got you.
And so having that mental and physical abuse just kept pushing me further and further into that addiction.
You
I've done it on and off for years. I ended up having my kids, and there was a time that CPS took my kids, and that killed me. It killed me hard, and I was in addiction really bad when they took them because I couldn't handle it. I could not handle them taking my kids from me. They were my world. Whether I was in addiction or not, they were still my world.
right.
So I was in addiction for a good 5 months when they took my kids afterwards. And with that, I had to I had to get help. So I tried. I asked and asked and asked. I ended up in jail for some stupid shit. And when I did, the CPS worker came up there and said, "Well, we're having this happen next week and we're probably taking your kids."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" So I had to hurry and try to bond out.
Right.
I mean, I was like, "I'm not losing my kids. You're
Right.
not taking them."
Right.
So when I went to court, I didn't have a lawyer. And I told the judge, I want a lawyer. I said, I've been asking CPS for help to get away from this addiction.
Right.
So the judge ordered them to help me.
Give you some help.
Yeah. So I got some help. I did. I got my kids back. Everything was great. I was doing good.
So, I mean, what did that help look like?
I went to they had me go to like a AA, or not a AA, it was more like a rehab, but I was doing outpatient because they had me doing classes, I had to have a job,
Right.
all this stuff. So I was doing my meetings on the outside. And I was doing good. I got my kids back for it. And I was doing great. Then my life turned upside down again.
What happened?
I got in a wreck. My boyfriend was abusive. I lost a family member that really, really was an influence in my life. And I went right back to addiction.
Right. It was that go-to.
Yeah.
You know, I always tell people, man, I hate the fact that I ever made it an option in my life, right? Because even in recovery now, right? It's always in the back of my mind. It's always that go-to.
Yeah.
So when things get hard, or when that struggle gets real, or if I'm not feeling that connection I need to feel, right?
Yeah.
It's that lingering thought, like, you can always go to. You
Yeah.
can always go to. I'll make you feel better.
Yeah.
I'll ease that pain for you. You know, it's that facade of.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, and it's something that never goes away.
No, it don't.
You know,
Because I've been fighting this addiction for years, and at that time, I was so bad on it that my daughter, I ended up giving my son to his dad. My daughter was with her aunt, and I told my daughter and my son before I took him to his dad's. I said, I love y'all. At that time, I was so high on like 5 different drugs
yeah.
that I wanted to die.
So when we're talking about 5 different drugs, like what was your DLC?
I was doing meth. I had speed on me. I had hydrocodone. I even had some not speed, PCP,
Okay,
all in my system.
hitting that wet.
Yeah. I had all my pills and I was ready to take all of them that night.
Right.
My daughter knew when I said I love y'all and y'all do great without me. She knew. So she didn't leave that. She was partying that night with her family.
Right.
And when I told her that and I said, you take the car, she said, oh, hell no. Her
Right.
and her cousin and a couple of her friends stayed the whole night with me at that motel. That night, she's on the phone looking for rehab centers. Because it was either that or I was going to die that night.
So did you go?
I ended up coming here to Amarillo, and I went to Centacor.
Okay. Yeah. I
did my treatment. I did really good.
What was that like?
Man, when I first got there, I'm not going to lie, I was still high.
Right.
So
everybody is. You know,
yeah.
I got the privilege to go up there and work with a lot of the guys in the sober living side at Centacor. And so, but we'd all sit outside and smoke cigarettes before our meeting started, right?
Yeah.
And you see people come, they sit underneath that front door awning, right?
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't tell you how many people I've seen just sit out there and go, you know what, I'm about to give it up, but I'm about to go hard before I walk through the door. And boy, they take a whole bottle straight to the head. And I'm like, wow.
I mean, I drove from Lubbock to Amarillo higher than a kite.
Yeah.
I mean, I was higher than a kite. I don't know how I made it here.
I do.
But I know God
Yeah, I'm
made
about to
me
say,
get
I
here.
do.
You know,
yeah.
at first, you know, I didn't know.
Boy, God did for you what you couldn't do for yourself.
Yeah. I got in that place, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. I was a bitch. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
But I was. I cussed out. I cussed them out. The first 2 days, I cussed them out. Like,
Now, when you say you cussed them out, did you cuss them out because of what they were doing, or did you cuss them out just because you were withdrawn and mad?
I was withdrawn and mad.
I got you.
They'd be telling me, hey, you need to get up.
Yeah.
No, the hell I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'd be like, I'm going to go smoke a cigarette. No, you're going to class.
Yeah.
And I'd cuss him out for it.
Oh, yeah. My wife used to come home stressed out telling me stories, and I'm like, man, baby, you just got to let them do what they're going to do for the first couple of days because, you know what I'm saying, they ain't trying to hear nothing.
No, I wasn't.
And
I wasn't trying.
I wasn't. First couple of days, I ain't trying to hear nothing. I'm dealing with what's going on in here and in here right now, man.
Yeah.
I'm sick. I don't feel good. You're messing with me. Leave me alone.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt.
Yeah.
But once I got through it, I was good.
So that withdrawal, how long did that withdrawal last on it?
About 3 days.
About 30 days? Where the physical effects fell off?
Yeah. I mean, I was doing great after 3 days.
Yeah.
But I could still feel the side effects.
Right. Like the fog.
Yeah. I was real foggy.
Can't hard to collect your thoughts, all them things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was amazing to go there because it helped me.
Yeah.
It did. But I fell off again 3 years later.
You made 3 years?
I made 3 years clean
How long
and
were you
sober.
in treatment?
I was only in treatment 30 days.
So let me tell you the story, right? Because you did better than me. I was in treatment 14 months. Day 1, I got out of treatment. Fell off. Day 1. So kudos to you for making it 3 years.
Man, I was scared, to be honest, when I got out because I didn't have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Synacor and Amarillo helping me.
Where'd you go after Synacor?
They ended up helping me get a hotel.
Okay.
Then they helped me get an apartment. So I was in the hotel for about a week.
Yeah.
Now, that's where it came hard. It tested me.
Yeah, because you got that freedom again.
It tested me because a lady just right next to me was smoking dope.
Yeah.
And she would come knock on my door. Do you have this? Lady, yes, here, I have this, but can you please not knock at my door at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Right.
I'm trying to sleep.
I ain't on that tweaking stuff no more. Yeah.
So, yeah, I did good for 3 years. I went to classes. I went to daily recovery. I was doing great. Then I ended up falling off. The doctor told me that I only had about maybe 3 months to live at the time.
And when was this? What year was this?
This was 3 years ago. So in 2023.
So you had 3 months 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What changed the name of the game for that?
I just said they didn't want to really give me medicine to help the pain.
No, but I mean, what do you feel like extended that 3 months?
I don't know. I think it was God more than anything. I had to change my thinking, but my thinking was still wanting to get high to kill the pain.
Right.
And then in 2024, in June, my daughter told me she was pregnant. And I was still alive.
So you grandma now.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And when she told me that, I was like, man, I gotta quit. I gotta quit. I'm gonna be a grandma. And I got to be a better example for her.
Right.
So I quit. And I've been sober ever since June 11th of 2024.
Congratulations. So what's your motivation today? And you said you're a grandma, right?
Yeah.
But how do you maintain your sobriety outside of that?
How? I go to meetings. Lately I haven't been.
Yeah.
I've been doing them more online.
Yeah.
And man, talking to the people online, you would not believe how many people are addicted to drugs all over the world.
Statistics show 7 out of 10.
I
7 out
mean,
of
there
10.
was people from Germany, people from China,
Hmm?
and I'm
Yeah.
just like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah.
Addiction can hit everywhere and anybody.
Yep. It's in every home.
And you know, I'm open. I'm open. I'm a book. I tell my kids all the time. I don't want them to have to be like me.
Right.
And I'm very honest with them. Hey, be careful drinking.
Right.
I was an alcoholic. You know, I was addicted to drugs. Be careful.
No.
So my daughter's, you know, she smoked weed before she was pregnant. She found out she was pregnant and she quit. And she's been clean as long as I have.
That's
You
what's
know?
up.
And she's like, you're my inspiration.
Oh, success stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I tell you, there's so much power in your testimony, right? And when people see us come out of the mud, right, and we put it down and we make something of ourselves afterwards,
Yeah.
right? People follow that. Right?
Yeah.
You become an inspiration to those behind you, right?
Yeah.
It was like, when you texted me the other day, my wife looked at me. She was like, Stephanie wants to come on the show. I said, yeah. She was like, do it.
Yeah. She told me
And that's when
yesterday. I
I
seen her.
messaged you back. I was like, cool. That when it comes to like how we treat our kids and how we treat others, right? We stay so consequence focused.
Yeah.
When we're addressing certain situations.
Yeah.
Right. And so as a coach, what I've kind of learned to do, and I've found works better,
Mm-hmm.
right, is not always showing everybody so much the warning signs. You put them out there, you let them know,
Yeah.
right? But that's not our focus. I'm not going to sit there and focus on the consequence
Oh,
of
no.
everything, rather than we're gonna focus on the rewards when you don't do it.
Yeah.
What do you get when you don't do this versus what happens when you do it, right?
Yeah.
Because people will lean towards a gift, versus getting scolded or punished.
Oh, yeah.
So I always try to stay reward focused when I talk to people, and I try to get somebody to go a certain direction. Because I'm real big on self manifestation,
yeah.
right? And if you really think about it, my thoughts and emotions is what got me here, right? It's because I'm always thinking about worst case scenario. I'm always thinking about the trash in my life. I'm always thinking about the broken relationships or the things that are going wrong in my life, right?
Yeah. We do
And
that.
I manifest it. I think about it so much that I turn it into a reality, right?
Yeah.
So it started with me. I said, you know what? I'm no longer going to start stressing the consequences. I'm going to start focusing on the rewards of hard work. I'm going to start focusing on the rewards of staying sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And life's easy today.
Man.
Life's easy. It's easier. Now, it has its hard moments, right?
Yes.
Recovery's not an easy thing. Like first time I walked into an AA room, the dude said, "You're gonna do 12 steps. It's super easy." I'm like, bullshit. You handed me a book thicker than the Bible.
Exactly how I felt.
You handed me a book thicker than the Bible telling me it's gonna be easy. And I've been spending my whole life trying to understand the Bible, and there's still stuff in there I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Come on, man, be real with me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
There's nothing
I had
easy
something
about it.
traumatic happen to me just 4 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was in the hospital for a little while. And they were giving me fentanyl. And the first 2 days.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are y'all giving me the second day? And I was like, what are y'all giving me?
She said, I feel really well rested.
I was like,
Really well rested.
I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like this feeling. And then they told me, and I was like, no,
Yeah.
I'm done. Please don't give me that.
No, I did it. I did it too. I was in the hospital a few years ago, and they started trying to give me a Norco and morphine, and I'm like, y'all gotta stop. Like, I can't do that. Like, I'll deal with the pain, but like, I have a highly addictive personality, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'll spin off.
Yeah.
Like, y'all gotta stop it.
Yeah.
So we went from that, and they just started bringing me Tylenol after that.
And you know, my family was scared. My family was scared after this traumatic incident because they were like, man, every time something traumatic happens in my mom's life, she goes back.
Yeah.
But guess what? I haven't done anything because I'm fighting that addiction every single day.
So what changed though? Like, I always ask people, like, what's your why, right? So every other time you went back out,
Yeah.
like, you had the opportunity to go back out this time, right?
Yeah, I did.
Why'd you not do it?
I could have.
Why'd you not do it?
Why? Because of my kids and my granddaughter. That stopped me because my daughter said after she had that baby, you ever use again, you'll never see her again.
Yeah.
And that little girl is my world.
You know, and so often in times, family members will see what transpires, right?
Yeah.
And we put up this wall that says, no, I don't want no part of it. Get out. Do you. Right? Not realizing that we're genuinely making the problem worse.
Yeah.
Right? But when a family member jumps in and supports you in your recovery. That's why I said, don't focus on the consequence. We're not going to focus on the addiction. We can focus on what happens when it gets sober.
Yeah.
Right? So when people support your recovery instead of enabling your addiction, things change in the mind. Right?
Yeah, my kids are so proud of me. So proud of me. And I'm proud of them because even though they had to go through everything with me in my addiction, they're still great kids. My daughter is on the dean's list.
That's what's
at
up.
At college.
That's what's
My
up.
son is going into the Marines when he graduates high school in May.
Okay.
You know, and I sit here and I say, you know what? I know I was a bad mom, but I influenced them to be good.
Right.
So how I look at it is we have our addictions, but we got to try to put ourselves and our family first. Because if we don't, we're going to lose.
Yep. And I'll be honest, like, in my addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
My kids wasn't a strong enough why. My family wasn't a strong enough why. Right?
Yeah.
Because I was able to use that as a more of a tool for destruction. My relationship with my family, my relationship with my kids, kind of like you. CPS took my kids, right? And the mental anguish that comes from something like that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I wasn't given an opportunity to, work a program and get them back. Like, they took my kids and I got no contact orders.
Yeah.
Like, it was, so it was a little different. And knowing that I couldn't be in their lives, I used that to destroy my own. Right?
Well, I lost my oldest one. She got taken from me. Well, really, she didn't get taken from me. I was 17 when I had her.
Yeah.
And so when I turned 18, because she was born on the 9th and I was born on the 19th.
Oh, wow.
So after I had her, my grandmother passed away.
Okay.
I started using really bad still.
Yeah.
And I was living place to place because my grandpa kicked me out of the house. So I was living place to place, and I didn't think that was good enough for her. So I gave her to my mom because my mom was a great grandma.
Yeah.
She was a terrible mom.
Yeah.
And she had her. And then I ended up having my second one, and I told her, let me have her.
Yeah.
She wouldn't give her back. Well, CPS took her from my mom because my mom was using.
Gotcha.
I did. My mom lived in Colorado. I lived in Texas. Texas said, yeah, she could have her back because I did everything they wanted. Colorado said, you don't make enough to take care of 2 kids. We're taking your rights. And that was hard.
Right.
You know, to this day, my oldest daughter, I finally got to see her. And we have a rocky relationship. You know, she believes everything that her adoptive parents said, and she believes everything. Even if I tell her, even if my kids tell her, Mom cried every birthday, every holiday because you weren't with us. So I know how it feels to have your kid yanked from you for good
Oh yeah, it sucks.
and not getting to see them at all.
It sucks.
It's heartbreaking. You never know. But then when they come back in your life, you know, you got to deal with that hatred and the blame and stuff that they have for you because you had other kids
Yeah.
after that one.
No, I totally get it. My oldest daughter, you know, we started talking. Oh, I guess about 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
And she's pissed. Like she's mad. You know what I mean? I don't blame her.
Yeah. I don't blame them.
At the same time, like she wants to treat me like a punching bag.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
They
like,
do.
Like I'll reach out to her and I'll say, hey, how's your day going? You know, I'm thinking about you, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And then it's always a slug that comes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the slugs for a little bit, but I you know,
But
I
at
finally
a
had
point
to-
you have to stop.
well, and it's like, I just kind of made up my mind, like, I'm not gonna be a punching bag.
Exactly.
Just because, you know, hurt people, and I understand that, right?
Yeah.
And healed people help people.
Yeah.
Right. I'm in that healing phase. I want to help people, right? So I'm not going to condone bad behavior just because life was hard.
Yeah.
I did that for me, and look where it got me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so so what I always keep in the back of my mind is she's not a child anymore. She's grown, right? She makes her own grown decision. Now she's holding me accountable for her childhood, and that's absolutely okay. But
I
she
understand that.
But she cannot hold me accountable for her adulthood.
No.
You know what I
No.
mean? Like it's on her, and she's got to figure that out.
Yeah, they do.
Like she's mad at me for a lot of things, and I've just come to this conclusion that some things life just has to teach you.
Yeah.
Right? There was things that my dad did in my childhood that for the first 20, 30 years of my life, I could not forgive. For the life of me, I just could not forgive.
Yeah.
I was mad and angry and just bitter about it. Right?
Yes. Yes.
Until I started living through some of those situations as a dad, as an adult, going through life. I'm like, all right, now I can find a little grace.
Yeah.
I can find a little grace here and there
Yeah.
for some of that because, you know, there's no manual to parenting, you know, and, you know, what we don't look at as children, right,
Yeah.
is we don't look at our parents' mental health and well-being, right?
And we didn't.
I popped the question off a long time ago, and it was something that I had to go ask some of my psychiatrist friends. I'm like, man, if we know that, you know, addiction more often than not carries a dual addictive or is a co-occurring disorder, right?
Yeah.
If mental health and addiction go hand in hand, right? Why don't we address them together? And all of them gave me the same answer. And the answer is you can have a mental health disorder without an addiction, but almost every addiction comes from a mental health disorder.
Yeah.
Right. And even when we go into AA, right?
Yeah.
People will identify with that addiction,
Yeah.
but they ain't about to say nothing about that mental health disorder.
Man, I'm gonna tell you.
They won't say nothing about it.
I have I'm bipolar.
Yeah.
I'm depressed.
Yeah.
You know, I have suicidal thoughts. But I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I see a counselor. I see my psychiatrist, you know, because that's probably what led me to addiction was all the mental
Right.
stuff that I was going through.
Right. Whether it's a trauma, whether it's some sort of, genetic deformity in the brain, whatever that mental health issue is
Yeah.
what usually feeds the addiction.
Yeah.
Right. And so when we talk about root causes of addiction, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when I coach people, we don't talk about their addiction. Right? If I keep the focus on someone's addiction, I never fix them.
No.
I just keep that revolving door going,
You
right?
have to.
I can keep getting a paycheck.
Yeah.
Basically, if I'm constantly focused on someone's addiction, I can always guarantee they'll be back because we're not solving the problem.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you have to start at the root. You have to start at the mental issues that you're going through.
And here's a one of those keys to the game. AA knows that.
Yeah.
AA knows that. But they keep the focus on the addiction because it keeps you coming back. And they got to keep that room full.
Yeah.
So there's a predatory side to recovery is what I'm telling you.
Yeah, there is.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's things that help, right? But you got to kind of weave through the mess to figure out what really works, and what gets me by.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about just a minute ago. We always sit there and tell each other we got to do something different. Like, bro, this thing ain't working out for you. You got to do something different. You know what I'm saying? You got to do something different. You got something about it. You just got to do it. We go back to the life of Jesus Christ, right? And this is real, right? Because we get so stuck on the words on the page
that we're not giving it to God.
We're just not paying attention to what it really is.
God's telling us something.
Look at the life of Jesus Christ. He had one job his whole life. How many times do you think he wanted to give up? How many times did people try to push him in a different direction? Yeah. How many times was he, shamed? And, even today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had one mission in life, right? And anytime things got hard, what did he do?
He kept.
He didn't do nothing different. He did more.
Yeah.
He did more. He became a master of his craft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like when he had to feed his disciples, right?
Yeah.
And they only had, what was it, 3 loaves or 6 loaves of bread and a fish. And he turned that into feeding 5,000 people.
Well, I can tell you this, right? How do miracles happen?
By the grace of God.
Miracles come through effort. Miracles, that's it.
You have to put effort into your addiction. You have to put effort. If you're gonna do this the right way, you have to put effort into it.
You want to talk about the greatest man in history? Was his mission to be great?
No.
No, he knew his assignment. He knew what to do in life.
Yeah, he did.
And he constantly did more, right? Became the greatest man. If your focus is to be great in life, you will never be great. Right?
Yeah.
It's taking God's gift and perfecting it.
Yeah, God told me to come here.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, you know, God told me when I seen your post, and I was like, I heard him speak to me, and he was like, "It's time, Stephanie. It's time for you to go out there and speak because my story can help somebody else."
Well, and we started this about almost 2 years ago. Well, it's been a little over 2 years, actually, since Better Days Reign started. We've been doing it here in the studio for a little over a year. You know? Now I want you to think about something. Imagine coming out of jail, not having anything, and I went and told my wife, guess what? I'm going to be a YouTuber. Can you guess the reaction I got out of that? This is going to be my career. This is going to be my career choice. Imagine going to tell your parents something like that. Hey, you know what? I'm going to be a professional YouTuber.
My son told me that one time, and I was like, what? I'm like, a YouTuber. And this is before streaming. Then he was like...
What was your thought when he said it?
I looked at him and I was like, okay, I guess.
But what were you really thinking?
In my head, I was really thinking like, what the hell?
Exactly.
I did not raise you to be like this. I want you to be better than me. I want
Can
you
I
to,
tell you the best thing that ever happened to me?
and
It has opened up the doors to so many avenues of growth and man, I'm telling you, it's the best thing I ever did. This podcast has done more for me in my recovery than any recovery room ever did. Right? It gave me a chance to be a part of something. Gave me a chance to be of service to others. Right?
yeah,
It gave people a chance to really come in here, tell their story, and tell people how they work their recovery. So I mean, like, there's so many advantages to doing this. And here's the most beautiful part about it, right?
hmm
I don't know who I'm helping. Right? It's not like I'm helping people who are sitting across the room from me. There's
yeah,
people in London watching. There's people in Australia watching. There's people all over the world that watch the show and are like, bro, thank you for this message. I had a parent reach out to me last night and say, you know what? Uh, thank you for being there for my daughter because her daughter watches the show. You know,
that's
and she
awesome.
said, thank you for being there for my daughter. And she said, I also want you to know that as a parent, the things you talk about on your show really help me to understand what she's going through, which is part of our mission.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? It is creating, it's bridging that gap of understanding between family members, people suffering in addiction. You know what I mean? And so uh, it's things like that's the reward. That's what keeps it humbling, right?
yes,
People always tell me like you're just doing it because you're feeding your ego. Nah, bro, it's
no,
it's them little comments at the bottom of the screen
yeah,
that say, "Man, keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for the message you sent out today, bro. What you said today saved my life." You know what I'm saying?
and I'm gonna tell you, Sean, I read your stuff, I watch your stuff all the time, and I'm just like, man, this is amazing.
No,
Some of the stuff that you have said is it touches my heart every single time.
I appreciate that. Like that's what it's. I'm like, that's what it's there for, right?
Yeah.
It's not for me. It's for everybody else.
You know, I was thinking about getting on TikTok because I noticed some people doing TikTok, and I thought about telling a couple of stories on there about my addiction because there's so many people out there that are trying to get clean and sober.
Yeah. Well, when we talk about the degree of willingness, right?
Yeah.
What are people willing to do,
Yeah.
right? Some people aren't willing to walk into an AA room,
No.
right? And I don't blame them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It takes a very safe place to be able to go air out some of the stuff that has happened in our lives, right?
Yeah.
To total strangers. And whereas some of those AA groups, like every AA group is supposed to be a safe place, but
But you don't feel it.
in pure honesty, not every AA group is a safe place.
No, you don't feel it sometimes at some of these places. So you just keep that bottled up
Bottled up.
inside.
And you walk out and you never come back, right?
Exactly.
And so when I was looking at some of this stuff, watching these people hit that revolving door, they come in and they leave and you never see them again. Or they're there. And so I started asking myself questions like, how do I reach those people who don't believe in this program? Right?
Yeah.
And the answer that God gave me was create other avenues. Right?
Yeah.
I don't have to reinvent the wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I can do is I can create other avenues. I can practice what I preach, right?
Yeah.
And through my own actions, and I can walk with people. A lot of times we want to hold people accountable to things, but we ain't ready to walk with them through it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll be honest, parents are that way. Boy, you better do this. You know what I mean? But we don't walk with our children through it, right?
Yeah.
I've seen relationships where husbands and wives, you know what I'm saying, where the wife will come into the room or the husband will come in the room, but the other one burns off. You know what I'm saying? We want to hold people accountable, but we're not willing to step in there with them.
Exactly.
So I always tell people, they always ask me, like, I did an event last summer, right? And man, there was about 500-600 people at this event that I was speaking at. And in the far back of the park was a birthday party. And these people were drinking. And a guy came up to me. He says, "You going to go tell them people something? They're drinking over there." I said, "No." He said, "Well, why not? That's what you're supposed to do." No, it's not. That's not what I'm supposed to do. Because if I'm going to hold somebody accountable, then I should be the one to step in and walk that walk with them.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared to take on the responsibility of building someone else back up, then you have no room to talk on that person whatsoever.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't.
It's not my job to cause chaos.
No.
It's my job to bring peace.
And man, I'll tell you, I love my peace. I have my own place.
Yeah.
You know, and I love my peace. It's quiet. I'd rather be at home than go to an AA meeting, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's so peaceful. I learned to live by myself. You know, my son, after this accident happened, he moved in with me because he was worried. And man, now I got to deal with him playing his damn game because he moved in with his friends to be closer to his school.
Right.
But when he moved back in with me, now he's up at 1 o'clock in the morning playing his game. And I'm like, boy, you got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, I know, I'm fixing to go to bed. But I love my peace. But now I'm starting to realize this is my last one.
Yeah.
My last child he's turning 18 in May. He's graduating high school in May. He's either going off to the Marines or he's going off to college to be a mechanic.
Okay.
You know, and then I'm like, okay, so all my kids are grown. Man, I really got to get myself out there more. That's another reason I came on here.
Yeah.
I want to get out there more because I want to be a purpose for someone.
Man, when you live a life of service, I'm gonna tell you right now, like it's not like a get rich or quick scheme, right?
I don't want that.
But it has been the best experience of my life, right? I get people from where I come from, you know what I'm saying, back in North Dallas, and they hit me up all the time, and they're like, "Bro, what you're doing is epic. Like, we love it, man."
Yeah.
And you know, whereas I want to see everybody get sober. Like, I'd love to see everybody just
I do
put
too.
it down and let's find some peace and harmony in life, you know.
Like, I wish my sister would quit, man.
I love the fact that I plant seeds, right?
Yeah.
Because when people are telling me, like, "Bro, I'm really vibing with that video you put out," you know what I'm saying? Or I'm really feeling what you were talking about. That's that seed being implanted in somebody, right?
Yeah.
When I got sober, you know, and this is, I always talk about when people want to talk about like sobriety dates, right? I always tell people when I came into the program. Now, I didn't actually step foot in the program till 2022.
See,
right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep it 1,000 with you. I went 6-8 months. I had a friend of mine reach out to me. She's like, "Hey, let's go have lunch." And I ain't seen her in about a year. Honestly, I thought she was in prison.
Yeah.
And she hit me up out of the blue. She's like, "Let's go have lunch. I'll come pick you up." And I'm like, "All right, bet." And man, when I tell you this girl showed up and she was glowing, and I was like, "Girl, what you been doing?" You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
Like you something different, something different. She looked at me. She said, "Man, I've been sober, bro." I said, "What?" She said, "Yeah, I've been sober for almost a year and a half. That's why you ain't heard of me." I was like, wow. That was the first notion. Like, when I saw how happy she was, you know what I'm saying? Just in general, her spirit lifted. Man, she was like vibrant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be funny about it. I'm being real. Like, she looked genuinely happy, and I'm sitting there like, that's what I want. That's what I want. So what I'm saying is that's the notion.
Yeah.
That's when the thought of sobriety, okay, maybe I can get sober. Maybe I can start living a better life, doing better things.
Yeah. In
you know?
2022
And
or
so
2020. It's when I did.
I use that as my recovery date because that's when the first thought of sobriety hit me.
You know, my first thought of sobriety was in 19 or yeah. Wait. No, it was 2018 cuz that's when they took my kids.
Yeah.
That's when it started. And boy,
Been a journey ever since,
it's
right?
been a journey ever since, but you know what? I'm glad for it.
Right.
I'm glad because I ran into a girl that I was using with,
Yeah.
and she's still using. And she was like, "Hey, how you been?" And I'm like, "I'm doing good. How are you?" She's like, "Man, I'm still out there." And I was like, "Man, not me. If you ever need someone to talk to and you want to get away from that lifestyle,
Yeah.
I'm here."
Yeah.
And she's like, "For real?" I'm like, "Yeah, for real." She's like, I'll think about it." And I'm like, "That's all that matters. Think." Because once you get that first thought in your mind, it makes you keep thinking.
It may take a minute to sink in, and you may
Yeah.
have to go through a few other things before you really commit to it, right? I had to
Yeah.
go through a few other things, I'm not saying it was easy. Like, I still had to go to jail again. I still had to go
Yeah.
back to prison. You know what I'm saying? I still had to overdose one more time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
but you know what I'm saying? Without that, I honestly feel this. Without that day, where that notion hit me that it could happen, I honestly, I don't believe it would have ever happened. If I didn't ever think it could happen,
Yeah.
and that's why I try to tell people, man, it's so important for others to see the success stories, the testimonies in recovery, right? Because that's what gets other people sober.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what keeps people fighting. You know what I'm saying? Does it mean they're going to win every day?
No.
No.
Oh no, because if we won every day, I mean, there wouldn't be a chance for us to keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Go. Drive.
Yeah.
You know? All right. Well, check it out. We're about to close out the show.
All right.
So give me 2 things you want to tell these listeners to give them some inspiration on staying sober.
Man, just keep fighting. Keep fighting. Don't look back to your past as much because you look back, it's just going to make you want to use again. So you got to leave the past in the past. You got to look towards your future. My second one would be that you got to put God at first in everything you do. I've had to learn that God is the one that's making all these miracles happen for me. Because I'm sober. I have my own place. I have my kids. I have my grandbaby in my life. It's all because of him and the work that I have put in.
Well, congratulations on about 2 years now?
Yeah. In June, it'll be 2 years.
Well, congratulations on that. We're going to wrap up today's show. Man, if y'all would like to support the Better Days Reign movement, man, visit our Printify store. We sell t-shirts, coffee cups, hats, mugs. I'm going to get the hoodies back up. Got to get the hoodies back up. I've been asked a lot about the hoodies. But man, visit that. That helps us expand our reach. And, we want to take Better Days Reign on the road. In order to do that, you know what I'm saying? We got to have the ability to do that. So, man, but it's a great way to help support what we're doing, help to support the recovery movement, and so we can, hopefully get ahead on this thing. If you would like to follow us on all of our social media platforms, we're on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Spotify, Instagram. We're everywhere, right? I'm launching a new thing on Facebook. It's called Sean's Keys to the Game. It's morning recovery motivation that everyone should hear, and bro, it's fire. It's fire. Like, I'm literally giving you the keys to the game. So check in on that. It'll be posting at 6 a.m., between 5 and 6 a.m. every single morning. No breaks. I'm not letting up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to get through this thing. And with that, all right, we're out of here.